Good morning, YouTube. Today we're going to clean up my Ferrari 430 Scuderia.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
For you channel, my name is Dan, and this is our dealership NG Supercars, and this Ferrari 430 Scuderia is for sale. But before we sell it, I wanted to do some cleanup stuff on it, so it needs a few things, just kind of tidy it up and make it look a little better. And the first thing we're going to do is remove these rear vents. So these vents have like some discoloration, almost like some rust or corrosion. So we're going to take them off, repaint them so they look nice and black. We already did that on the rear diffuser vents. On here, we already repainted and they look a lot better. So we're going to do the same up there. And then I also have some hardware that we're going to replace, some various bolts and stuff like that. Some of them just have like signs of corrosion again. So this car was in Miami for a very long time, and unfortunately it was close to the ocean. That's what happens to cars when they're close to the ocean, is they get some corrosion. So anyway, let's clean it up. Okay, and you can see we've got some Allen bolts. There's 2, 4, 6, 8 on each side. So we'll get those off. 4mm Allens. Oh man. I'm gonna have to be careful, there's a bunch of washers. Look at that. That's how they're doing the spacing. They're just stacked on 4 washers on it. That's funny. Same thing on this side, okay. Oh, this one only had 3. Oh yeah, look at that. That one has none. That one has 1. Okay, I guess I have to take pictures of each. 3. Okay, 1 off. Well, shit, I was getting off this one and I dropped a bunch of bolts and stuff down. So I'm gonna have to take off the diffuser to get those bolts back. They're all over down there. It is what it is, which I'm gonna have to take off the bottom panel. In order to take off the bottom panel, I gotta take off the diffuser. So it's just turned into a much larger job, but honestly, that's fine because I'm probably gonna drop another bolt somewhere, so whatever. I think we're gonna do this grate too, as long as we're doing everything and repainting them. So I'm gonna take off that grate, and then I'm gonna pull off the air boxes so that we can access some of the hardware that's all gnarly. It's just kind of like take the car apart to make things look nicer. All right, so this rear grate is just held on by a bunch of these. They look like 6mm bolts. So we're gonna get those off. I think I have to take off this as well, which has those 10mm. We can just tuck it out of the way. All right, next thing we're gonna do is replace the license plate holder. There we go. Now the reason we're replacing this is the screw holes have been messed up so bad that now there's like nothing that even gets grip on it anymore. So yeah, it's donezo. Ooh, new license plate holder. All right, YouTube. So I want to replace the bolts that are behind the air box for the A-frame. So I'm gonna have to remove the air box to get to those. So I'm gonna remove the air box up here, move the coolant reservoir, which has these 10mm there, and then I should be able to pull it out, and then we should get access to those bolts and we can get those out of there. Then that also will give us access to any other bolts that we see that are just gnarly, and we can change those out and make them look nice as well. All right, got the air box intake covers off. I got the water overflow off. Got to take off the side panels, believe it or not, because there's some bolts back there that we have to get to. Took off the 2 bolts right here and right there. Interesting little side note on the Scud. The secondary release for the fuel door is actually right here. See? I pull that. Cool, huh? Okay, got all the screws off for the panel. But and on the 430, you can't remove the panel unless you pull off the strut. So we gotta pop that off using a screwdriver, and I have my little lockout on the other side. So we can do it with one person and not have it fall on my head. Ask me why I know about that. Jam a screwdriver in this little slot. Pull the pin out, the little spring about halfway, and then pop, and you can just push it right back into place. Now that we have that, we can get this out carefully without scraping the carbon fiber. There we go. And then just pop this right back on. Ta-da! Okay, you can see just how corroded that bolt is in that one. So here's my new bolts, and I also have new lock washers, so we should be all set. So I'm gonna change those out and look at spick and span. And we also have to do some up in the front. So we're gonna have to remove that little trim piece up there. Alrighty, so I replaced the bolts there, those two, and then kind of cleaned up a bit. And this car cleans up really nice, so it's just dirty and dusty. It's like the engine bay's never been detailed. So I think what I'm gonna do is put it all back together and then take it outside with the panels off and do a pressure washing of the whole engine bay, because then it would look really, really good the way it should look. So I think that's kind of on the list of things I need to do to this thing to make it just be better and look nicer. Just a quick couple of notes, some interesting things that are unique to the Scud. So right there is the ignition system. That is the Eldor ion ignition. So that is unique to the Scud. It is part of what gives it a little more power and makes it rev a little faster. Also, you have this wonderful little tube right here that runs to the secondary air injection, and down there is the secondary air injection fan, or the pump, or whatever you call it. Yeah, that's a little bit of a different system than the regular 430s. But the rest of it, I mean, obviously carbon fiber stuff everywhere, but there is a few weird little things, like there is a lift point on the head. So I believe it does have unique heads. Actually, it has to, because of the secondary air injection system. So those are unique to the Scud. Obviously the headers are unique to the Scud. The diffuser and stuff is all considerably different on the Scud as well. Good news, it looks like it has the second version of the fuel pumps, so we have a lot less concern about fire risk with this car, which is great. All right, made some decent progress, but ran out of time for today, so we'll keep working on it tomorrow. So got the front panel back on. I still gotta power wash everything before we put on the side panels, but we're gonna clean up the air box and everything and just detail the engine bay, because it'll look so much nicer afterwards. So yeah, we'll keep going at it, so stay tuned.
Eventually.
Alrighty, YouTube, it's been a few days back at the Scud, so I need to raise it up, get off the bottom panel. Then I need to put in the air box and a few other things, and we'll take it outside, we'll drive it outside, do a pressure wash, and then put on the panels and get on all the grates and all that stuff and call it good, and they'll be nice and clean. So let's get up in the air, pop off those bottom panels. Put back together, got the vents painted, everything's back together. So now I'm gonna take it out, pressure wash it. I left the bottom panel off, so all that nasty stuff will go out of the car, not into the bottom panel. And then we'll put back on the panels and call it good. Okay, YouTube, we power washed it, and you can see now there's 100% less dirt. You can actually see the fuel pumps, and they're not black. And look at that, the valve covers are red again. Oh my God. They look so nice. And look at that, the intake isn't coated in a layer of shit. So everything looks nice. Time to put back on the panels. It's ready to send it. This thing's ready to go. All right, YouTube, check that out. It is looking really good. Everything's looking good, and well, the only thing left is to get painted. So yeah, it's now ready for sale. So if one of you are interested, send us an email, sales@ngsupercars.com. It's not gonna last long, especially once it's done with paint. And once it's done with paint, it's gonna cost more. So if you want it before paint, it's cheaper. After paint, price goes up. So it's supposed to go off to paint in probably about 1 to 2 weeks. So you got a little bit of time, but not a whole lot. That's it for this video. We're gonna be doing cool car stuff. So Josh has the transmission out on his 430 again. Yeah, we'll talk about that in another video. We just got a Viper. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to do a review of that one. Haven't driven one of that generation. Ridden in them, haven't driven ones. That'll be fun. And we got some other cars that we're trying to find and buy. So if you need to sell a car, hit us up, sales@ngsupercars.com. We can give you an offer. Keep in mind, we gotta be able to make money on it. So don't give us a full retail offer. We won't be able to make any money and we won't buy it. Otherwise, if you do make a deal, it's quick and easy, and there you go, the car goes away. That's it for this one. We'll see you in the next one. We're doing a lot of cool car stuff. If you want to stay tuned, it's gonna be sweet.